has imagined a slow motion entry into a room, into a party, into a Monday morning office, and in Mr. Bachchan style, looked at the boss and said, मैं आज भी फेंके हुए पैसा नहीं उठाता.
లేకపోతే మా బాస్ చిరంజీవి గారు లాగా చేయి చూసావంత రఫ్గుందో రఫ్ ఆడిచ్చేస్తా.
We all know exactly which song plays. When we're heartbroken, we definitely go down the Channa Meria route.
Natu Natu, which plays when we're finally winning.
We didn't learn this from films. Films learnt it from us. India is home to countless voices, countless cultures, and one of the most powerful cinematic traditions in the world.
And Karan, just talking about cultures and influence, nowadays in every South Indian wedding, thanks to your films, Sangeet has become a full-blown event.
All right, and let's not get into that, Rana. You know what happens with your films? We cannot wake up as normal people anymore. We now know there is no correct way to enter a room. You just can't walk in, you arrive. Door opens before you touch it. Wind from nowhere. You turn your glasses slowly, like the world has been waiting for that exact very moment.
And Punjabi cinema put India on the global map. And then came Diljit. He just didn't fill up concert halls. He made all of us laugh with his amazing music. And South Indians like me in Coachella went, hey, Punjabi aage hoye. That's what we kept doing.
Punjabi didn't cross over, it took over. Bengali films turned poetry into pictures.
Yamaho Nagari Kalakatta Puri is a Telugu song from a film Chudal Nundi, which made sure every single Telugu person saw Kolkata even before we knew it, thanks to Vetur Garu and Mani Sharma.
Kannada films made the earth into a goddess. Dr. Rajkumar built the throne. Puneet kept it warm. And then Yash walked in as Rocky Bhai. And the whole world said, oh my God, who's this? KGF didn't cross languages, it erased them.
And Marathi cinema never flinched from the truth. Sairat came out and all of us just watched in silence. We all knew what went on, but nobody had the guts to put it out there on screen.
Malayalam films brought light to the darkness within people. The whole world discovered it when Bollywood started trending outside Kerala. And then Payal Kapadia took a story soaked in Mumbai and Malayalam light all the way to Cannes. And she won.
And Gujarati films carried the love of home onto the screen. And then came Lalo, a 100 crore grosser, which made sure Gujarati cinema is not regional anymore.
Wow. So I have to say, and special applause to Lalo, because something like that happens so very rarely in our business. Give it up again for Lalo, ladies and gentlemen.
And by the way, the Dokla backstage is awesome. I think it's just because of them.
Was it? The Dokla is because of them? No. Well, we are at this beautiful convention, and the Dokla is amazing. By the way, I consumed it, quite a bit of it. Bhojpuri films showed an India that is not ashamed of its own soil. Manoj Tiwari sang it first. Raw, full-throated, no apology. Ravi Kishan carried it onto national screens and into people's hearts. And Nirahua made Bhojpuri cinema a universe of its own. These weren't crossover stars. They were rooted so deep in their language, their land, their people, that the audience came to them.
Reema Das made village rock stars in Assamese with no studio, no budget, and almost no crew. And guess what? It became India's entry to the Oscars. Odia cinema has been consistently telling stories for decades, grounded, stubborn, and were not apologetic about anyone watching them. Wow, that's 12 languages.
But one heart.
And one country that always at its very core has been
Filmy.
Filmy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight you're not just watching history.
You are in it. Welcome then.
Well, to the Kalyan Jewellers INCA,
the Indian National Cine Academy Awards. Talking about movies and the business of movies, Rana, I want to tell you about a film that was released in 1943. It was called Kismat. Kismat was made on a budget of 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh.
Wow, that's less than a cost of a single frame today.
Yeah, maybe less than my frame as
Yeah,
well.
clearly.
It starred Ashok Kumar, directed by Gyan Mukherjee, and this film, this small black and white film, ran at one cinema, one theatre in Kolkata for 184 consecutive weeks.
Wow. 3.5 years in a single cinema. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
And when the dust settled, Kismat had collected 1 crore rupees at the box office. The very first Indian film to ever do that. 2 lakh in, 1 crore out.
Well, clearly, that's an awesome return on investment. And then in 1975 came the amazing Grand Sholay that made sure 10 crore Indians walked into a cinema hall.
For another 33 years, Indian cinema moved at its own pace. 2008, Amir Khan's Gajni happened. The film crossed 100 crores net at the domestic box office, first Hindi film ever.
Knock knock. This has been an adaptation of a Tamil film. So just imagine the fact of all of this put together. One story that the audience went out for and created this awesome thing called the 100 Crore Club. And everything changed since then. 4 years from then, 100 crores just didn't become a discussion, it became an entry ticket into cinema.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, the 1,000 crore wall. Bollywood talked about it for years. When will it happen? Which Khan will do it? Which director? Which Diwali? And then, ladies and gentlemen, 2017, not a Hindi film, Bahubali 2, the conclusion, Telugu cinema did it. The first Indian film ever to gross 1,430 crores in India alone across all languages. Wow.
And then came Pushpa, Kantara, KGF, Triple R, Jawan, Pathan, and finally the Dhurandhar franchise that's now together collected over 3,000 crores in the box office.
Give it up for Dhurandhar, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a feat. From 2 lakhs and a dream in 1943 to 3,000 crores and counting in 2026. This journey didn't belong to one industry. It didn't belong to one language. It belonged to every filmmaker who bet on a story.
Every audience that showed up in the dark, every person who's in this room tonight, and every single one who had the guts to walk in and make their dreams a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Indian cinema, clearly. The next AV is just not a montage, it's a mirror.
Held up to the most extraordinary cinematic tradition in the world, Indian cinema.